Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to yet another edition of the Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament from SpeedGaming Live 2020. This afternoon, we have a Group G match between a couple of undefeated players, both of them looking to go to 3-0 in group play in this opening round of the tournament. On the left, we have WaltherIV, and on the right, we have jmeasher. So this should be a very good match, and we should be in for a treat, I think. So I'm Pro-A007, very happy to be joining you here today, and also joining me today as a tracker is the legendary Link Force Zero. So thank you to Link Force for joining me on the tracking today for this match. So getting ready to go here in just a second. Legendary? Never? Well, yeah. Did anyone ever determine what happened to the first three? Well, I think you'd have to ask Walther that. All right. So the runners have started, and we have a Moon Pearl right off the bat for Walther. Wow. So that is interesting. There's 20 bucks in the Sanctuary. You can have early Dark World access. We have crystals at Eastern and Hera. I did not get a look at Desert. Desert Palace Pendant, and a Power Glove at Bonk Rocks. Wow. So the seed is being very giving so far today in the first 45 seconds. And some red rupees for jmeasher, a lamp, a red boomerang. All reds in Sasparilla's house today. Bombs, so bombs, and bombs. So the seed is doling it out. Boots and lamp in first minute feels like Aga. It would, wouldn't it? Just bombs at Lumberjack, so much for a guaranteed Aga. But we still have hope. jmeasher's going down into Lost Woods. Looks like Walther's right behind him on that front. And a hook shot in the Lost Woods cave. Wow. So we are so heading for a bow and bombos endgame, aren't we? Moon Pearl was in Link's house. Let's see what Blind's house is holding today. And a lot of money to start. Top of everything else, there's 50. We could have an early Zora at this rate. Green 20 equals boots item? Possibly. Oh, it is? Okay, thank you. Alright, more money in the well. And down the line, some love. the blue cane, and Bombos. Well, there goes my bow and Bombos endgame. Darn. I hope the bottle vendor giving out a 20% refund. Oh, in Sasparilla's house. That's the second time today I've seen that. That was what happened in match I called earlier this morning. Bottle in Sasparilla's house with a B, I might add. And a Quake medallion from the Sick Kid. So we've already got 2 medallions. We're not even 5 minutes into this. Chicken Nut, yeah. It is Sasparilla's house, but yes, you're right. $20 in the library. jmeasher is gonna take a look at the race game. And oh, the fire rod. Wow. Speed is giving and giving and giving and giving some more. All the fire items unlocked. Wow, yeah, that's true. Yeah, Bombos, Lamp, and Fire Rod. After all of that, Back of Escape leading to South Shore next. That's a pretty reasonable assumption. Walther almost was reflexively going for the save and quit and realized, oh wait, no, need that. What does Back of Escape have for us today? Key? One of the few letdowns we've had so far. jmeasher decided, you know what, I want that. I want to see what's at Dark Cross Room. We're going to use that B, try and clear the decks a little bit. And jmeasher does indeed get his key. Now he's going to make his way towards Dark Cross Room. Walther, meanwhile, is heading for South Shore. Heart container in the well. See what happens when he drains said well. $20 there. Looks like Walther is going to make a run towards Agina. jmeasher's got to be careful. He's down to half a heart. Bombs at Desert Ledge. jmeasher, after a couple of attempts, decided no more, and we'll be heading back to the house, and we'll get Moon Pearl. Or, oh, looks like jmeasher did in fact get it. Just missed that. I apologize. 20 bucks in Agina's cave. It was a bottle. Thank you, Link Force. Appreciate it. So, following in Walther's footsteps to see if he decides to continue with South Shore, and yes, he's heading towards a mini Moldorm cave. Walther opted not to and decided to go for the low percentage Agina play. We've hit the trifecta on the medallions 10 minutes in. Another bottle. So that's 3 bottles, 3 medallions, a fire rod, and a Merle all in 10 minutes. So, okay. It's gonna be one of those seeds, is it? Lamp was in Sasparilla's house, back in the closet. And no swords. Yes, that is true. We have not seen a sword yet. Though, given the generosity of this seed, it can't be that far off, right? 20 bucks an Ice Rod Cave. Walther having a little trouble with that last mini Moldorm. Finally dispatches him. Sure, sets up for the fake flipper. Gets it. First try. Book on ped, shovel on ether, digging game for ice. Well, there you go. One can only hope. I mean, something's gotta slow these guys down a little bit. Sure, is 77 rupees short of paying off Zora at this point. So some money comes his way. There's 50 of it. 27 rupees short of paying off Zora. Lamp is at in Sasparilla's closet near Eastern. So jmeasher in kind of an odd position, needs 26 more rupees to pay off Zora. Walther is well short of that. Right. Correct, plebes. Thank you. Sorry for the confusion. So jmeasher, with kind of a slightly disgruntled look, is going to move on. To Eastern, looks like Sasparilla's hideout, and get his lamp. So, it'll be interesting to see. Lamp, the red. So, I'm not going to go for Eastern at this stage. Walther is going to head up Death Mountain. Looks like jmeasher is thinking the same thing. Dr. Proe. Is my last name Proe? No, it is not. Nice to know I'm not the only pro A around. They're getting beat up a bit. Actually picks up a heart and he's going to stop for a refill. Doctor in his spine, now a major motion picture? Yeah, probably. Just a baby shield. Inside, back to a rock cave, so Walther's gonna go heading towards Eastern Death Mountain. Seven checks. There's 8 checks actually here I can do right now. Take it. A lot of items so far, a lot of good stuff, but we really haven't hit major progression. We still haven't found a sword, haven't found the bow, a hammer, or really anything to kind of move this seed along. We got a lot of potential more than anything. So, what's in Paradox Cave? There's money. More money. There's the hammers, and there's the baby sword. Alright. So, now we've got something going here. Floating Island's just got 10 arrows. So this does open up Tower of Hera. Hera's 100% completable, if our runners are so inclined. Spiral before Hera? Yeah. I'm a little puzzled by that myself, but could work out. So, yeah, I think Walther is going to now head towards Tower of Hera. Jmeasher is heading to Tower of Hera. So we got 2 items in Hera. Again, 100% completable. There's one of them, the magic mushroom, so we've got a potential drug deal in our future. A bit of overlap there, and basement is required, unfortunately. Looks like could be required. Trying to set up the pot glitch. Finally gets it. There we go. Number... follows suit, so we'll see if item number 2 is behind Troll Dorm. So, with the hammer, that's 3 hits again on Troll Dorm. Ooh, nice dodge there by Mesher. Could have gotten boxed in. But takes care of business, and that will put him on the board. And there's the second item, so no basement needed. So 1809 for Mesher to get on the board at Tower of Hera. Got hit there by Trolldorm. Missed a hammer strike there. Trolldorm kind of just sitting on the left side there. takes him down. So that put Walther on the board. At 1843. We got a green pendant at Skull and a red pendant at Ice Palace. Red crystals at Mire and Turtle Rock. Very interesting. Well, Mesher is going for an early Spike Cave. And ends up with a Bloomerang at Walther, following suit. That is an Randomizer thing, and it looks pretty, in my opinion, pretty creepy, honestly. So Mesher is going to make a trip into the Dark World now with the hammer. Looks like Walter's thinking the exact same thing, so let's get some Hype Cave. You know, even though Hype Cave rarely a thing anymore. There's the flippers, so... Well, the front of Hype Cave was worth it. That does put Swamp Palace into play. Or not quite. Mire's still out of pocket, but excuse me, that stupid Mire. I always forget that. Anyway, digress. Stumpy's just got some love. Walther's heading towards the pyramid and pod potentially. Looks like he's gonna do the pyramid first. Mesher is going to do the digging game. Walther is heading towards Catfish. The digging game gave us the blue mail, which is nice. Not required, but good to have. Walther is about to do the Catfish, find out what we have there. 10 arrows, unfortunately. So... Sure can get a crystal out of Thieves Town and the green pendant in Skullwoods if he's so inclined. I don't think that's going to happen. Chest game comes up with a heart container. Not required, but nice. Thieves Town with Sword 1. Could be worse. Better than no sword, that is true. And, you know, still 9 hits on blind no matter what. to welcome my late arriving co-com. Welcome.
Yo, I heard you needed some cavalry.
Well, never a bad thing for a race like this. The more the merrier, I say. We got an interesting race on our hands. It's been a fairly linear one. Lots of good stuff early.
I love to see that. I like to see when races can really highlight execution differences between runners.
Yeah. So far, there has been plenty of that. We got both runners in the same dungeon at the same time. Both of them on the board with a crystal. Identical pretty much in every way. As far as item count, there are some minor differences. jmeasher does have a blue mail from the digging game, but these are just minor differences overall.
Got some crazy crystals on the board too, so yeah, it could be one of those situations where it's linear early game and not so much late game, but with this much progression, this is crazy.
Yeah, I think after this, though, we might start to see some route divergences. Do you go for Green Pendant Skullwoods, which is completable, or do you maybe take a dip into Pod and hope one of those 5 items pays off there?
Oh, that's such a difficult choice. This is the kind of choice that makes you nervous, like early game Village of Outcast, Skullwoods, Pendant Dip.
Well, in the race I did earlier today, it was a pendant pod. It was a pendant pod, and that turned out to be the key difference because it had a sword, which was the only sword we had at the moment, and that led to Mothula, who had the Titan's Mitt, and that just blew the seed wide open.
Yeah, it can be a huge variance creator whether or not Skullwoods has progression or whether or not runners go there when it doesn't. Walter just getting to God Pixel there, but got bumped out of the way by that. What's that thing called? A Gibbo, I think is the name of that enemy.
Thing. Chad pointing out correctly, we have yet to see Hyrule Castle yet. We've seen the back of Escape, we've seen Dark Cross Room, but yeah, Hyrule is still in play, and that could be interesting. Who decides to go for that next? First, we have Blind. Ganon is a beacon of despair. Right. Glad we knew that. Glad we know that now. So round 2, no problem for Mesher, and that makes 9 strikes, and that's out. And just a compass. So 26-48 for Mesher. That's 2 crystals. That's another good point. They neither had Zora money. Mesher was like 20 rupees short. Kind of tried to work his way up there near Zora, could not get the item drops, so abandoned the idea. But now with that $300 from the hut, perhaps that's on his mind.
Yeah, it can be super nerve-wracking once you've entered the Dark World to think about routing that back in, but that can be a huge deal. You just always imagine that your opponent's done it when you haven't.
Yeah. There's the ice rod in the C-shaped house. So now we're starting to wonder, well, what's going to be the end game? Like, what's going to hold our runners back from blowing this open? Mesher's going for Skullwoods.
Personally, I'm very happy to see it's not going to just turn into an ice rod hunt. But yeah, Walter picking up this crystal here a little over a minute behind jmeasher, so it does have a lead on him.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how what happens now with the baby. They got baby swords, so with a fire rod. So there's just a key back there.
Yeah, I like this play from jmeasher going to the back first. See if they get a key. It makes their routing up front a little bit easier. Looks like Walter might be heading there too, though.
Interesting. So they are synced so far in their routing.
And Walter going for the alternative strat here. See if he's going to get a key up front before continuing on. It is a shovel, but this could save him like a trip to the middle and then back to the front and then the middle again, but turns out it does not. Oh, maybe he's going to drop down. No, okay. He is going for the mummy chest. Never mind.
So we got a fetch quest item, one of 2 in this dungeon. There's the big key.
Yeah, the other route here that chat's kind of pointing out that would have been interesting to see would have been back to front. Since it is a green pennant, you know that you're going to get some sort of value. But of course, if you found progressive items in the front, you might decide to ditch and just isolate the pennant.
It's possible. I guess it depends on your preference and what you're thinking of. Looks like jmeasher is leaving. Does not want to see what's at the back just yet.
Yeah, was that big chest and the second item, or
no? It was not an item.
Wow, yeah, that's bold.
Yeah. Well, he checked bumper cave. Now he's going back. Okay. Just bombs at bumper. So skull big chest was indeed, yes, it was a small key. Thank you for chat.
I think he might have been. Who it'd be interesting to ask jmeasher what was going on there, but I kind of imagine that he was taking that moment to think about the decision, because it could be a significant decision to finish this dungeon right now in terms of how much time it takes.
That's entirely possible. Because it is an interesting variable. I think if it weren't a green pendant, I think he probably would have felt more comfortable saying, "Yep, I don't want to do this."
Yeah. Guy McGuy in chat pointing out a really good possibility as well. Maybe checking bumper cave so he can save and quit after Moth without isolating that location. I like that interpretation because I think it's like assuming the best of what's happening.
And that's not exactly what you would normally think of, but that's certainly a valid interpretation, especially, because it is kind of a little out of the way. I guess it's more the timing of it all. Would that have been better to do before Skullwoods, perhaps? But it certainly lends itself to some credibility, that interpretation.
Yeah, it's interesting because if he had found the items up front, I wonder if his hope was check the bumper ledge on my way out, maybe flipper across the east side or something like that,
Yeah, possibly.
Oh,
so the chest in the base, in the lower level of the main entrance has item number 2, and they've got their green pendants now. So very good Mothula fights, putting that hammer to good use. Both of our competitors, and now they're going to go for item number 2 here.
Nice dash from Walter there between those spikes, but it's just 10 bombs.
So not what they were hoping for. So I got a fetch quest, and we got 2 fetch quests. We got the shovel, and we've got green pendant. And looks like Walther is going to cash in that shovel now. Mire is going to do the same. A not inconsiderate fortune has just been discovered, so there is that.
It's interesting that with basically the simple decision, or maybe it wasn't a conscious decision by Walter to skip that bumper check, he's pretty much made up that minute time difference and then some that he was behind on jmeasher.
Yeah, And we still have that drug deal that needs to be taken care of. So that is where Walther is heading, and I like that idea. You know, chaining some of these fetch quests together. Meanwhile, we're getting our first look at Hyrule Castle, and there's our 4th bottle. So...
What happened? They had 3 Bs. What happened, man?
Oh, the flute!
Oh,
Wow.
dude. On the uncle just sitting there.
All this time, but that's great. But without Titan's Myth, it just makes transportation a little faster. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, it might push jmeasher and Walter to go back and pick up those Zora checks, because I'm sure that's on their mind. Like, oh my god, what if progression's there? I'm so close to go mode.
Yeah, that certainly is a possibility. So all rise for the Swag Duck Anthem. What is Sarsaparilla? Just some arrows. Ugh.
Yeah, it's got to be scary in this moment, you know, to realize that Skullwoods didn't pay off at all. That was like, what was that, 4 minutes or so that they spent in that dungeon, maybe even more. Yeah. But, you know, it's pretty probable your opponent is going to do the same thing at some point.
Yeah, jmeasher is going to Agina. Walther already checked. I think it was just $20.
Walter trying to get the hook speed there, and then tried to use his hook shot to hit the guard, but he must have been just 1 pixel too far to the right, and he couldn't hit him. That was pretty funny. I gotta say.
Yeah. So yeah, we're a mirror, bow, sword, cane, and mitts from Go mode. So a long chain of items here. Misha's gonna do his drug deal now. And yeah, we're getting our first look at the front of Hyrule Castle, and given that the flute was at Uncle, I wonder if our runners think, oh god, did I really just let that slip through my fingers?
jmeasher looks like just did a reset. So going to maintain that mushroom in case it's needed for magic bat, or maybe just a safety. Most likely magic bat.
Probably. They can certainly do that. They have the hammer.
I always find that an interesting choice, like whether or not to save the mushroom, especially in a situation like this where you're only really lacking 3 or 4 items from Go mode. You know, it's not a free thing. You know, you think about, oh, you just reset rather than save and quit, but it actually takes several seconds to do the reset over the save and quit.
Right. So... Misha looks like he's heading to Eastern. We have not seen Eastern yet at all. So another new check. Hyrule Castle hasn't really, apart from obviously the flute, has not garnered anything, and that clinches it. So another wasted check there, unfortunately. Who gambles on pod first? That's a good question. From Chad, and we're seeing it with Eastern now. This is our first look at this dungeon with its 3 items. They can't finish, but what if it's holding the aces that they need?
Yeah, I think this is a really interesting choice to go to Eastern first from jmeasher, because, yeah, I mean, the other option, I think, especially with that flute, would be pod first, which has higher item density, and also is interesting because pod tends to hurt you less if you dip it over Eastern, since you have to go all the way back to return to the point if you don't have the bow. Both of them are crystals, so you're going to have to potentially double dip either one by choosing one or the other. But with Eastern, you know, you get punished a lot more for it than pod, and pod has higher density. So I wonder if this play from jmeasher is because he's worried that Walter has done this before even going in the Dark World, as some players often do. So he's just trying to, tie this loose end up.
Yeah. At this point, I think we're really looking for the mitts, because I think the mitts is going to help open the seat up. We got 2 items already in Eastern, and Misha's going to have to go all the way around to potentially get item number 3. Well, Walther is going to make a run at Pod. Does not have the bow yet, so he's going to have to kind of glitch his way around if he so chooses to get all but the last chest or the last item from Helmasaur King.
Did you see whether or not he bought a bottle when you turned the mushroom? I didn't see if he reset or not.
I don't think so. Did he buy?
I'd be surprised if Walt came here without a potion, but he's done it before, so.
Say Ruin Chat confirmed he did buy a potion, so he's good. But he's got a key. Walt's got 2 to 3 blues. Okay, yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, thank you. I must have missed that. When I was watching Mire. Thank you, chat. Appreciate it. All right, so Eastern is a bust. 3 items, and none of them of intrinsic value.
Also kind of an interesting choice to just meditating on that mushroom turn in there as well from Walt. Not only did it allow him to buy a bottle for this pod right side bow skip, but also it means that as he's using quick swap, he doesn't have to item over an additional item. So maybe that'll give him some advantage too. And that looked like a green potion from jmeasher, so I'm assuming he's coming to pod now as well. Okay, I think so far all we've seen is 2 keys in the front here, which is not unusual.
The front end is usually key dense, and it's all the good stuff in the back. But Mire is heading to pod now. Walther has gone through about a third of the dungeon so far. As you said, largely come up with keys. Okay. There's the Titan's Mitt.
So that's going to open up a lot of locations, and it's not a good situation for jmeasher, because what would have been great is if Walter was forced to not get anything in pod and go elsewhere and potentially maybe double dip Eastern as well. But the double dip Eastern doesn't close this game out by any means. It's not, it's an unfortunate time loss to have to do that, but it doesn't it doesn't call the race on its own.
So the other thing right now is it opens up a few things, but Canis Samaria is also pretty much closes out some of these some of the later dungeons from them. So it doesn't solve all of their immediate issues, but it does give them some flexibility in terms of some of the overworld checks.
Yeah, totally. It's not going to be. We could see them following each other's route here in a pretty linear fashion, but it's not necessarily going to be linear, because, like you said, there's not an obvious crystal dungeon to go take that mitts to. They have to make some choices about overworld routing.
Dark Death Mountain, Mire Shed. Although I think Mire Shed would probably be less likely just because they don't have a mirror. So that. Is the big key. So just 2 more checks for Walther. Rita.
So yeah, now it's overworld stuff. Let's see where Walt goes. I mean, Mire area is a pretty obvious first step, but then there's the Dark Death Mountain or Smith Chain. are really the two big other directions. King's Tomb.
Really just started in Death Mountain, so he is going to go Dark Death, which I like because that's, Super Bunny Cave, that's 2, plus the Hookshot Cave, that's 4, so that's 6 items, 6 chests in pretty short order, and he can actually get a look at Turtle Rock's pendant. And obviously, well, it doesn't really matter, he's got all 3 pendants, so he can open that up quickly. I like this. Can't do anything in Turtle Rock, but he can at least open the door.
Yeah, I mean, it is the most item-dense location, so just for, terms of bang for your buck, this makes a lot of sense. Oh yeah, chat reminding me this would be mirrorless Smith's Chain, so that would be hard to choose over Dark Death Mountain.
So Vanilla Quake opens up Turtle Rock. Fire Barrage greets jmeasher, gets around it. And
Well, I didn't see why jmeasher is down to 1 key and went the bomb jump route.
Exactly sure either.
I'm wondering if he has already done the Dark Rupee basement, or if this was about efficiency of movement, but just forgot he didn't have the big key. No, it looks like he did the Dark Rupee basement first, so...
I think he did, yeah. It's $100 so far. There's the bow. Oh boy.
There you go. There's 1 of 3 we need.
Okay, so now with that, after he's done with Super Bunny Cave, unless he pulls the Canis Samaria here, I think it's got to be a double through a pod in Eastern, get those out of the way.
Yeah, chat pointing out the reasoning, in case anybody's wondering who can't see chat right now. The reasoning that jmeasher did the bomb jump there is he did not do the bottle glitch on the right side of pod as Walter did, so he didn't get that extra small key. He knows that there's another small key over there, but on his second trip into pod, he doesn't want to go to the right side and waste that time, so he decided to bomb jump instead. So, pretty cool.
Okay. jmeasher is now doing Spiral Cave, which he did not do the first time around. Walther actually kind of took an odd routing choice. He actually did Paradox Cave, and then did Spiral Cave, and then he did Tower of Hera. So normally it's the other way around, but it still worked out. And now he's gonna do Pod. Now he's gonna do Pod. He's gonna do Eastern first, run through that, and then finish off Pod.
Yeah, so unfortunately for jmeasher, Walter does get to avoid the Eastern double dip here, so he's going to save a bit of time here.
Both runners at the 47-minute mark have done completed 2 crystals, both of them the same crystals, Hera and Thieves Town. Walther with a bit of a lead, I'd say, all overall, just because, as you say, no double dip of Eastern. And has, I think, been slightly more efficient in his routing. jmeasher is not by any means out of this, not by a long shot, but right now Walther has the short and long-term advantage, just based on how this is going to play out.
Yeah, so some things that could really shake this race up again is progression in Ice Palace. Who goes there when? That could be anybody. If you have to make the choice to dip into Mire without the cane, that could be a hugely variant thing.
Picks up his bow. Cane on Zora, that's possible, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Nobody has paid the $500 to see Zora yet.
When we see the Zora check, everybody watch their face cams, because if Kane is there, they're going to react like they just lost the game, not knowing that neither of them checked Zora.
I think jmeasher in particular is going to take it very hard, because he tried to, force those last 25 or so rupees through enemy spawns, couldn't get it to go. and so he abandoned it. Walther's was never really close during his Zora checks, so it probably won't weigh as heavily on him. Welcome our friends from SpeedGaming Portuguese on their raid, all 25. Welcome.
There we go. Walter getting some flashy hook speed finally, but it didn't work before in the secret passage. Now he got it in Eastern at least. It's cool to see that tech. It's an interesting bit of tech that makes that quick swap makes much more common, whereas before you'd have to consider, weighing whether or not it's worth it to item with the hook shot in a dungeon like this.
Lining up, gets take on the Armless Knights. Got a little thrown off course there. He's going to have to reset attack, but finally takes care of him and gets get his third crystal at 49.58.
Walter does not look happy about that. I happen to know that his last several NMG runs, he's messed up that Armos fight. And that bonk there, I think at the beginning threw him off a little bit. That totally unnecessary dash that you just saw jmeasher do between those Armos Knights, not necessary at all for the setup. It's just something that you often do just for fun. But yeah, Walter bonked against an Armos Knight, and I think that kind of threw off his rhythm.
They're now gonna finish off Palace of Darkness, and he's already done everything, so he's just got to go to the finish line. Misha's gonna have to take a little longer to get there, but shouldn't take too long.
So out of curiosity, I just looked up to see if they both had NMG runs, speaking of the NMG run. And in the vanilla game, they're only a few minutes apart in their posted PBs. It's a little dangerous to go just by that because you don't know, how committed they've been to their NMG runs and how much of an actual, reflection of their execution those times are. But, I think that tells us, and what we've seen so far, this is going to be pretty close execution-wise.
Yeah, they are of two like minds, just generally on what we've seen so far from their play, and it has made for a very close race. Walther with a slight lead right now, but after this, it'll be interesting to see what their next move is. Ooh, Walther missing on the arrow shot, so he's got to be careful.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God, Walter!
Okay, there it is. I thought he would have picked up that other arrow set myself, but not interested.
Yeah, that is interesting. Going into a fighter sword, basically hammer Helmasaur fight, that he just did not pick up those arrows.
That's the other thing we've kind of overlooked. We're still on fighter sword. We're almost an hour into this, and granted, we've got a lot of places still to look, but wonder how much that's affecting them.
Yeah, I gotta imagine that, decisions like him doing all of Skullwoods and getting nothing, if that's really weighing on him, because he's now getting progression in these really obvious places. Like those Titans Mitts in Pod would have been a very natural next place to go after Thieves Town, and I think that my assumption is that he's comparing his current game against an opponent's optimal game, and he's feeling behind. A little pressured by that.
That's a natural sort of way to think about it in general, anyways. At least for me, it's like always assume like the worst for you and the best for your opponent. So it's kind of like a mind game.
Yeah, totally.
It's really easy to kind of get lost into that. Walther, one of the few items he has not picked up so far was the blue mail, so Misha's actually having an easier time of this.
Ooh. And they're both showing off different strategies. Walter doing the new spin speed tech, jmeasher doing the classic sword hauled out diagonal hammer tech, which is a lot harder to do. But yeah, it's interesting to see that difference in tech there. So for folks who might not know, it's you know, if you do spin speed, your hammer hitbox is greatly extended. It's a new tech that we've recently started using. And then jmeasher is doing a classic NMG strategy. You hold your sword out, and if you hammer and press a diagonal at the same time, it also extends your hammer's hitbox.
We got both players have 4 crystals apiece. Looks like Walther is going to make a run at Mire here. Certainly Mire shed, if nothing else. That's 2 quick items.
Yeah, oof, yeah, because it's really just Mire shed or Mire here without that mirror. That's all he can really check.
Oh, the silvers.
He doesn't like seeing that. I don't know if that's because it confirms that Pod was a double dip, or it just makes his Dark Death Mountain trip totally useless now. I think it's the second thing, because again, I kind of sense that what's going on with Walter right now is he's comparing his current game against his opponent's best, and so he's thinking about, well, at least I went Dark Death Mountain and got that bow, and I skipped doing the Mire area stuff. Maybe my opponent did that, and now he finds out it literally didn't matter, and that it would have been faster for him to come here first.
It's like you were expecting something good. You weren't necessarily expecting that.
Yeah, that wasn't a good sign for him anyway. He doesn't know it doesn't matter, but sorry, go ahead.
Right. I was like, he's like, well, since I'm already here, you know, I might as well do this.
Yeah, his options right now are pretty limited. He can go back on Zora, which at this point maybe he's just refusing to check it because he figures his opponent already has. Yeah, he'd go back on Zora. He could do the slow mirrorless Smith chain, or he can dip into Mire without Samaria. Oh yeah, right. Data. There's Ice Palace as well.
Yeah, that is true. Ice Palace with 3 items versus Mire with 2. So it's like,
Yeah, it's
decisions.
It's interesting because, like, you know, the Mire double dip feels bad. You know, like you have to go through those first several rooms, and that takes time and whatever. But the truth is, like, you got to find the big key no matter what. And if it's a easy big key to find, which in this dungeon it's not going to be, which is good news for Walter, then you feel bad. But otherwise, it's like, well, I took about the same amount of time I'd taken this dungeon anyway for a double dip or a single dip. So
King's Tomb only had $20. Mire is now heading towards Mire, so also thinking along the same lines, but see how he reacts to silver arrows.
Walter deciding not to check the 2 chests on the left side first is kind of interesting because he needs both the big key and the cane here in order to be able to skip the other side.
So he is fully committed to this dungeon. Mire is not. Mire is doing the Smith chain.
Oh, okay. Well, this could be a break that jmeasher needs to kind of make up a little bit of time here against Walter. If the Smith chain does have any progression, this is big news for him.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's they're dead even on crystals. It's 4-4. But their routing is now, after really being kind of identical for most of this, is now making a major divergence. Blue Mail was at Digging Game.
Walter still has gotten 0 items in Mire here.
right, so the Hammer Pegs Cave, just $20.
Now, it kind of seems like if jmeasher does not get payoff on the Smith chain, that he might be going into ice from here.
I would think so. Like, what other choice do you have?
Yeah, not many good ones.
$50, so that's item number 1. When the truth, oh, total washout in Mire for Walther. Ugh.
Yeah.
Although that didn't turn out to be a whole lot better as far as the results for jmeasher. So Walther is going to Ice Palace.
Yeah, I think Ice Palace makes a lot of sense here logically. You know, you have those flippers, and I don't know if we found any progression in those first flipper spots, but so far, if flippers and Fire Rod haven't paid off, this is really strong.
jmeasher is now doing the, as Incoherent puts it, the 1 hour ice Hyrule Castle, and oh boy, yeah, that's not something you want to be seeing from a runner, but choices are really have dwindled, and so have Walther's, but again, doing Baby Sword Ice Palace, not exactly high on anyone's list. Early big key for Walther.
Yeah, especially without that Canis Samari to do Icebreaker. This feels bad, man.
Yeah, yeah. This yeah. Not often you have to see them do Ice Palace the intended way.
Yeah,
was discovered.
quote unquote intended. We're still probably gonna see the bomb jump.
Oh yeah, of course. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that this Ice Palace bomb jump has been seen on any SpeedGaming channel in at least 2 decades. So this will be a nice first.
2 decades, wow. Gotta remember how to do this again. Got it first try.
Nailed it, yeah.
Alright, what's jmeasher's next choice here? Nice one, very nicely done with the bombs.
I like that fireball dodge on that Medusa from Walter's side with the hook shot. That was pretty cool. And here we go. We're going to see what's in the purple chest in just a few seconds.
Purple chest in the match I did earlier today paid off. It was the hook shot. So, see it again.
Yeah, jmeasher shaking his head at that. Not happy to get this deep. Now he knows. He's got to do Ice Palace. Oh, but he's going to pick up... Oh, no. Okay, this is Ice. This could be Ice Palace. I was going to say he could pick up Zora as well, but I think this is Ice Palace. As Walter found that Master Sword in Ice Palace, so he's not going to need a sword for True Go mode.
So that's 2 items so far in Ice Palace. Make that 3. There's the Canis Samaria. Now we're down to a mirror endgame.
Yeah, with 6, well, I guess make that 7 items left to get just on the way by doing Crystal Dungeons.
does beg the question: could Mirror be the could Mirror be the pedestal item?
Oh goodness.
We're at a mirror end game now, so
Yeah, it's interesting, like, to think about that because they don't have a book yet. That doesn't mean they couldn't get one, but if you're considering whether or not I should take the pedestal seriously and finish out Ice Palace, the fact that you don't have a book maybe it tells you, you know, maybe I should not do that.
yeah, that is true. I mean, that certainly negates the possibility, but or lessens the possibility. But you know, we'll see. I mean, you know, if they end up with 6 crystals and still no mirror, I think that's panic stations. So Walther is going to get his 5th crystal here off of Misery Mire. We are a mirror away from go mode. Beyond there is one more item, I believe. Yes, and with silver arrows, this is going to be pretty easy for Walther.
Oh yeah, folks asking about that glitch that Walter just did, and if it's new. It's new-ish. It's over a year old now. Spooky Mire, or Spooky Action at a Distance, one of the best named glitches in the entire game, where you can shoot a fire rod, and if you've manipulated some cool internal game variables well, then you can make your fire rod shot hit several screens north than where it would normally hit. Or several screens, several pixels is what I mean to say. So you can hit off-screen switches, basically.
I think we got it right the first time. It's technically true in a sense. I mean, oh well, yeah. It's like, hey, it's all good. You know, we're all about the malaprops here.
Yeah, thank you.
I've done it. It wouldn't be the first time that's happened.
My apologies. The FCC is going to come barking down on SpeedGaming channel now.
Oh, they're gonna get you.
hey, I said buzz off. Okay, that's what I said. That's anyway.
So it's on to Turtle Rock. The mirror looming over everything right now. Gonna find a mirror, or we're gonna find a book here. Zora has booked Mirror on Ped.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. That's another thing we've not seen so far. Nothing so far. Funnily enough, we cannot see Mimic Cave because no mirrors, so that's out of pocket.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, luckily we're not gonna have to come back from Mimic Cave because all we're looking for is the mirror. But yeah, that's true. That's one less item here. And you know what we haven't seen? We haven't seen anybody do fake powder. I mean, it makes sense. They don't have the mirror to do that. Yeah, I guess the mirror doesn't matter. Doesn't. Never mind. It's kind of out of your way to just route in a fake powder, especially when you want to go to Turtle Rock. But I don't know. It could be important.
So yeah, we're reaching an interesting point in the race, and both players I think are kind of, you know, I can't really speak to it, but I'd be panicking right now. We can't get it. We can't get in a desert. Nobody's been to desert yet because.
Rasper Help Desk asking in chat, no mushroom to do powder because they turned it in. Walter turned it in and saved. jmeasher, however, did a reset, so he still has his mushroom.
So yeah, so he could do it if he wanted.
Which could actually be pretty significant if the powder is somewhere nasty.
Yeah. So like do not break it in case of emergency, I think is where Misha's mind might be at this point, but I don't know.
A nice cane dash, or rather Samaria block break dash from jmeasher to hit that switch the traditional way.
Yep. Okay, $20 in the big chest. So,
Oh my god.
Oh, there's the powder.
Wow, so if the mirror is on the magic bat and jmeasher checks fake powder before going up to Turtle Rock, that could help close the gap a little bit.
The problem for Misha, incidentally, taking down Vitreous at 1:11:35, so they're back to even on the crystals, but Walther well on his way to his 6th crystal in Turtle Rock. jmeasher. All right, four chests. Could one of them have it?
All right, well, Trinex could have it. Walter is making faces again. Okay, I predict Walter's going to make an interesting face when he sees what the Trinex item is, regardless of what it is. Oh, Pyramid Fairy. Oh yeah, that could be an option.
That is very much on the table, yes. Easy to forget, but yeah, Mire and TR are the 5/6s. Because he doesn't have Tempered Sword, he's got to use the hammer for dole out the damage here. Ooh.
Oh my god, okay. I think he's got a blue potion, otherwise I don't think we would have seen him use rod shots in that first part of this phase, but he gets it down anyway in one magic bar.
Still want it to be Zora at this point, so both runners fail face from Or how early would... Yeah, it's like it's been there the whole time. Quick fight from Walther on phase 2 of Trinex.
Here we go. It's FaceTime. Oh yeah, he's praying.
Like, yeah, really?
Nice. You gotta love SG Live where we can actually watch their reactions.
Mirror Ped. Well, we're down to a handful of checks at this point, so yeah. Okay, Walther is gonna do a Magic Bat.
Yeah, it makes sense. Just got this powder and Turtle Rock.
Yep. Right. Magic Bat going to hold the answer.
Just some
No
bombs.
to his consternation. All right, so 5-6, gotta be. Right.
Yeah, it could be Pyramid. I mean, he could go back on some of the stuff he skipped before, but I don't think that Walt's going to do that. Yeah, it looks like he is going Pyramid Fairy.
Pyramid Fairy or Zora? I mean, you know...
So at this point, okay, if it's not here, it's gotta be Zora, right?
I can't imagine what else it could be. I mean, between the two of them, I think we've seen everything. Yeah, it's gotta be.
And that would be hard for Walt to route in a little. I mean, well, he's got a few isolated checks, right? Like he skipped Bumper Ledge completely, I believe.
Yeah.
There's Zora. Oh, has any of them done Spike Cave yet?
Yes. They did that. That was an early check from both of them. It was almost simultaneous.
Oh, that was before I got here.
Yeah, it was like at the 26, 27 minute mark. It was right after they did Tower. It was not long after they did Tower of Hera.
Walter shaking his head at his own hook speeds. That's oh, there it is.
There it is. The mirror is in Pyramid, and so we have go mode at 1 hour, 16 minutes, 42 seconds.
Well, okay, so far the biggest point of frustration for Walter has been hook speed. So, you know, what could happen is he could do some hook speed shenanigans up Death Mountain and accidentally clip off screen, go out of bounds, and then have to reset by the rules of the game. And that could help save jmeasher some time.
So now that he's got the mirror, so yeah, so all things considered for Walter, that's probably the best case scenario out of anything that could have happened, because if that ends up being the book, if that ends up being the Book of Medora, then oh boy, you're in for quite an odyssey. I wonder what. We probably won't find out till the credits. What if the Book of Medora was at Zora? Boy, what a race that would have been then.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, if that had happened and one of them checked Zora and the other didn't, guaranteed one of them would have gone for the Ped route and finished up Ice Palace. Not guaranteed, but it seems like it really could happen.
Yeah, it certainly would have changed some of their routing decisions. Walther has got no interest in anything that is not in his immediate path. He wants out of here. Mishra does with Trinex Phase 1. Walther did have a little trouble with the Ice Head, but looks like Mishra is just going to use Sword Strats to finish off Phase 1. Nice fight there by Mishra, using a mix of hammer and sword strats to finish the job.
Yeah, nice to see some MMA and Link to the Past here.
119.12 for Mishra, so about 5.5 minutes back on Walther. Setting up the clip with Canis Maria gets it, so he'll do a couple of checks. He's in go mode, but a red sword would not go amiss here.
Yeah, and I'm not super familiar with how his sprite changes with mail, but is he really still on green mail? So like a blue mail could actually...
Yeah, because he never did digging game.
Not that I'm really concerned that he's going to die, but like, you know, it does allow you to more safely deboost through rooms and stuff, so could be worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Walther's on green, Mishra is on blue, so...
And here comes the intelligence. Oh my goodness, if that cane had been much earlier in the seed, like say where Bo was, that really could have swung the game for jmeasher, having retained that mushroom for fake powder. But yeah, just because the hook shot was where it was. Oh wait, no, never mind. It wasn't there. It was in the pyramid. I thought it was there for some reason. I'm getting confused.
Right. Walter's got to be a little careful here because those little popcorns do 2 hearts of damage. He's gotten hit twice already. Does not have a fairy, so he's got to be defensive here. One hit kill on Argus. There's the big key, but that does not matter. He is out of here. So that's 7 crystals at 121.01. Alright, so it's that special time again where we have 22 chests in GT. One of them has the big key. What's it gonna be, chat? I'm gonna say... I'll say 20. I think we're gonna get a nice long run through the gauntlet here.
Oh, wow.
I'm slightly projecting because it was 3 in my last seed. At least it was for Yagamoth, who ended up winning. He went full right side and was rewarded handsomely. Fred, unfortunately, went left then right.
I'm going to go with a much more specific guess. There we go. There's go mode for jmeasher. Oh, Face is stoic. No, okay, never mind. He's a little head shake. But I think that there was that location and Zora left for him, so he kind of knew it was going to be there at this point. Yeah, and I think he probably predicted that it was going to be Pyramid Fairy over Zora, because he assumes that if it was on Zora, he's going to assume Walter would have got it already and probably would have finished by now. So
yeah, it's like, you know, he's looking, even with the 20-minute delay, it's like you can see his monitor. It's like, well, there's no go mode yet, so he probably didn't do that, or
yeah, there's no finish. Yeah, no dot done yet. So. Oh yeah, I gotta get my prediction in quick before the crystals do the animation. Okay, so my prediction is no small key in the first 2 chests, a small key in Town Room. Walter goes right, does Town Room, gets a small key, gets the big key in the 3rd chest he opens up in the Compass Room. That's my prediction. Now, if I'm right, you guys are gonna be like, Walter texted you or something, but that's not true.
No, he gave you, it was a psychic transmission, you know, like Zelda at the beginning of this game.
Ugh, he's already going the wrong way. Walt, you got to check Hope Room first. All right, so, I lost already.
Item number 1 is just a red rupee. Right. 2. Oh! Wow. There's the red sword.
His face. Look at him. Wow. To get a small key, a big key, and then like, yeah, I should open another chest for a sword. Gets it in the 3rd chest. Doesn't even have to open up the 4th chest.
Wonder what that 4th chest would be.
It's probably the 3rd bow or something.
The 3rd bow, yeah, that mythical 3rd bow. Or blue mail. That would have been funny.
Oh god, yeah, that's hilarious. I mean, I hope jmeasher he probably won't, but I hope jmeasher does open that 4th chest now, just so we know.
Acquiring minds must know. Under the gauntlet, Walther goes. Very nice 1-2-3 combo there on Stalfos.
I wonder if he retained information that Stalfos were in the magic pool, because he seems to be really liberal with his magic use here.
Possible, yeah. He's been going to town and with that and setting up for try to go 1 cycle on the land molds. Oh, just missed.
Oh, the recovery though.
Wow, that's a great probably at the last possible second too. I mean, that was close.
And don't miss it on jmeasher's side. He's doing double puff spins, so this is kind of a hard way to do it. He's now close to the final phase, but yeah, he's still going for double puffs. This is hardcore. If you're gonna do double puffs, to do it that late in the fight is hardcore.
So he's taken care of phase 1 of Argus. Now going for phase 2 and point blank silver arrow. That's the way you do it. So 126, 18 for Mire. Interesting. Both my matches that I've done today, both had the 7th crystal was Swamp Palace. That's interesting.
Walter doing the fake powder. That's where you do fake powder, but you actually did have magic, but you use your last bit of magic to do powder. Rarely seen. Glitch that, not glitch. Not glitch.
So Walther, not gonna check that final chest. He has no need. He has everything he needs to make this a pretty quick fight with Ganon. How many Ganon falls Walter had by? Yeah, it would take a lot.
Yeah, at this point it'd be more like a power outage kind of situation. Ooh, nice triple to start there.
Yeah, it's very nice.
But that's cool. That means we can stop worrying about, who's going to win the race and just focus on their execution, which is my favorite part.
Ooh. Looks like not all of those connected, so that certainly did.
I like jmeasher's deboost through those Lionels there. I don't know if you caught that, but he just decided, I'm just going to dash right on through, take the damage. It's a lot faster than stopping to hookshot through them, but it does require confidence that you don't really need the health, So that's cool to see. Let's see if he's going to give us a look at the 4th chest too. But he's going to go right, so at least it could be hope chests into the standard route, or it could be full right. We'll see. Dude, no! I was right! Did you see that? There was no small key in Hope Room. Oh my god, I feel cheated.
Fortunately, he's not going to validate the rest of this hypothesis.
Yeah, that's true.
Phase 2 is done for Walther. Now, okay, here's our big moment.
Oh, he's checking it! Oh, it's this
Aw, darn. Playing hard to get for that final hit. Nice early silver strike on. Oh, missed out on the torch glitch.
Walter, what are you doing? Hopefully he's got some extra magic, because I don't think he can light those torches with just lamp. I don't think he's got enough magic left. Oh, he did have enough to light both of them once. Okay. Looks like he's not even going to need to. No, he is going to need to. I'm just going to be quiet now and watch.
So his backups pay off. Now he's just got to hit him once more. There it is. Down goes the big pig.
Oh, look at that face. He's all scrunching up because he's like, that was a bad Ganon fight. Phase 4. Please don't let my opponent snipe me.
Get out the GGs for Walther. Finishes with an official race time of 1 hour, 30 minutes, 36 seconds.
That look
GGs.
of absolute relief. Yeah, it sucks when you race your heart out. You have a bad Ganon fight and you lose because of that. That's the worst feeling.
Really losing it for any reason, like because of something that happened in the last like 10 minutes of this. Like everything from GT on, like you made the wrong route choice or something.
Yeah. Yeah, but it looked. Sorry, go ahead.
I was like, Mire helping himself to a quick health refill there.
So yeah, Walter in the group with Andy, Incoherent, and Laria, and I think I heard that Walter took a win against Andy already. That's crazy.
Yeah, they were both 2-0 going into this match. So Walter's just improved to 3-0 and has pretty much locked himself in for a spot in the brackets, I'd say at this point. Or it's going to take an awful lot for something to go horribly awry.
Yeah, that's got to feel good.
Oh, for sure. Quick fight by Mire. Take down Trolldorm. Okay, let's get throw in here for a quick interview. Double there to start off. Single off of that one. Right, and we welcome our winner of today's Group G match, WaltherIV, to the chat. GG.
Yo, GG's.
Yo, and we are just watching jmeasher head into the Ganon fight. Do you mind hanging on here for just a second while we watch him do this fight?
Yeah, for sure.
So, I think that was a 2-1-1-2 from Mire. Nicely done. Had some interesting patterns, but was able to get through it. And now we're on to the final phase. Contrary to the tracker, he does have red swords, so this should be a pretty quick fight for Mire. And as also, while we wait, do give our runners a follow. This was a terrific race and a very competitive one.
Oh, getting the 1-in-1 there. Nice spin off the bottom, trident spin. It's so interesting to see that Firebat pattern there. That's the vanilla Firebat pattern with the I shouldn't go into the technical explanation, but the arc variable was normal there. It always surprises me when that happens and they didn't do Ice Armos. But nice phase 1 and 2 there.
So
let's see how torchlighting goes for jmeasher.
Oh, got a little too close, and yeah, he's not happy. But good news is he'll be right back to the top and do it again.
Yeah, he gets to do that beautiful 1-in-1 again.
Yeah, pig hug. Yeah. Size of it. So, phase 1. Found his way through.
Oh, dude, that was sick. That was such a sick recovery there with that phase 2. I mean, he missed a couple dashes there. Even going for dash traps all the way through is a little bit risky. But yeah, that was a really sick recovery.
Yeah. Alright, so back to phase 3. Ganon kind of bounced around a couple of times, and bouncing around again.
Yeah, much worse warp patterns here in this Ganon refight.
Ooh, he's a little tardy on that swing. Ooh, barely gets past the Firebat. That could have... Oh, he missed.
Nice setting up for double here.
Problem?
Oh, whoa, that warp was insane. I don't know that I've ever seen that, but I guess because he knocked him out of position, he was able to warp back again to the top right, the same position. That was wild. Anyway, GG's for jmeasher.
He will finish with an official race time of 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 14 seconds. GG's to jmeasher, who will fall to 2-1 in group play.
And yes, welcome, Walter. Thank you for standing by.
Yo. Thank you.
And good game. Does this bring you to 3-0?
Yes, so far.
Dang, dude.
The last game is on Thursday. And I talked with jmeasher after the race. His last game against Andy is on Thursday, like 1 hour before mine starts. So that will decide the rest of the group.
Yeah, that's crazy.
One thing I wanted to ask about this. The seed was giving you all these goodies the first 10 minutes. Like you couldn't open a chest without getting something really awesome. What was your mindset? With all this good stuff coming your way.
I'm trying to remember the first 10 minutes. I'm not sure what we got. Got like a glove and moon pearl at least.
Moon Pearl, all 3 medallions. Fire Rod was really early. Lamp was really early.
Yeah,
Hammer
right.
was pretty early.
I thought about like going up Death Mountain before going South Shore because we had access to like Death Mountain right away. But I don't know. I wanted to do like South Shore in case there was like a hammer or mets there for Death Mountain. But at the same time, it kind of felt bad going over to Ice Rod Cave because I kind of wanted to do the flipper stuff, but I didn't have money for Sora.
Right. Yeah, that was kind of one of those looming questions throughout the race is who is going to make a run at Zora, because Misha was actually closer in terms of rupee count, and we'll ask him in a second. But yeah, that was one of the great unknowns as we were whittling down the possible overworld checks. Who's going to go to Zora? Is Zora in play? But that was one of the great open questions, particularly in the final third of the race.
I can see you guys 20 minutes ago now chatting to each other, I'm assuming, in the SG chat channel.
Yeah, most likely, yeah.
But yeah, welcome, jmeasher. Good game.
Yeah, GG's, Walter.
Yeah, GG's, dude.
And I'm sure you saw that on the restream there because, you're 20 minutes ahead of us. But that was a really sick recovery on that 1-on-1 there in that second Ganon fight.
Yeah, no, I actually thought I missed it because I counted 11. But I guess one of my earlier strikes counted for phase 2. It's always weird with the timing. So I had assumed I had missed it. And then he started teleporting around. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I got it. But yeah, those were 2 pretty decent phase 1 and 2s for my Ganon fight. Just took a really silly hug there on the first fight. But kind of at that point, it's already lost, so not too broken up about it.
I was just mentioning Zora was one that I know you in particular, you're trying to sort of manipulate the enemies and try and get those last like 20-something rupees so you could pay off Zora. That never happened and then never went back. How much was that kind of weighing on you mentally?
Oh, it definitely was. But at that point, I kind of felt Zora was going to be my last check, I think. No matter what. Like I was always doing that last. Maybe just before going to Caneless Mire. But once I missed it early, I kind of just had to hope that nothing was there. And yeah, I was getting really nervous as the check started getting less and less. Yeah, I think I was trying to see if I couldn't remember if the birds were on the Pokey drop table. When I got that big magic, I was like, oh, maybe I'll try again, see if I can get the big 20. But at that point, once it dropped the small magic, I was like, this is not worth the time.
Right.
I'll just leave it and hope it's nothing.
Yeah, that was one thing, and then by and large, there's a lot of synchronicity in your routing until I'd say about the 45-50 minute mark. That's where things started to diverge a little bit. I think the race for Kane was what happened, and Walther got to Ice Palace much sooner than you did.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys talked about your various routes a little bit in chat there after the race. I mean, we can see you there kind of chatting to each other, but yeah, I think it kind of came down to one of the things that happened is Walt just skipped Bumper Ledge. He avoided the Eastern Palace double dip, and what was the other thing? You guys probably know.
Smith chain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I didn't even get because I went into Outcast first. I wanted to go into Skullwoods first, but it was a pendant, so I was like kind of scared of that. Then I got like nothing in Outcast. I just went up to Skullwoods instead of going down to the game and all that, and then there's like never really a good time to go back there, so I just decided that both the game and Stumpy were dead. And then when I got like meds, I was like, I don't want to do Smith Shane because I've already like committed not to go back to the digging. So I just tried to go for some other place.
I didn't realize you skipped Dig Game and Stumpy too. Yeah, those are some bold.
Yeah,
bold
those
skips,
were
dude.
on my mind like 99% of the entire run. I definitely felt bad about that.
Yeah, the digging game is one of the few significant divergences that ended up being one of the two males.
Oh, right, yeah. No, that explains a lot of your facial expressions then, Walter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not checking Bump Ledge was just I don't know. It was just stupid, really. As soon as I saw that cape, it definitely didn't feel good at all.
No.
Yeah, I think for me, once I got mitts and then got bow from Hookshot Cave, and obviously after I'd finished up Eastern and Pod, the decision point for me there was I either go to Ice Palace now or I leave it for last. Like, I felt like that was going to be something that Walter did. And yeah, I was like, either I go there now or I just gamble that Ice Palace has nothing. Because I think I had a lot of one-off checks all over the place, and I still had Smith Chain and all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, obviously it didn't work out in my favor this time. And I think at that point, we only really needed Kane and Mire, right? Like,
yeah.
After we got that bow.
Right. Yeah, the final two items on the board were Kane of Samaria and the Mirror. And then again, the Book of Medora was also in play, and that could have, we were kind of, being the status we were kind of hoping that was going to turn everything inside out.
Book would have been terrible because that was the one thing keeping me from going to beat any of the pendant bosses, other than Moth, obviously.
Right. Yeah. Both of you pretty much noped out of Ice Palace the second you found the Cane of Samaria. It's like, I think that was the third item anyways, so it's like that was a double incentive. Like, yep, we're done. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, it would have been like a huge gamble to go to Coaster at that point, because then you're pretty much committing to Ped and you don't even have all the resources to get that item yet.
Yeah, I think until Book shows up, that's a silly gamble. I feel like that's just way too much time lost.
And I think it's an added inducement to not do it. I think both of you only had Baby Sword by that point. You might have had Master Sword by then.
Yeah, we got Master inside of Ice Palace.
Okay, I'm getting my match that I called earlier today because that was Baby Sword Cold Stare. So
yeah, it's pretty free to leave at that point once you get all items, because you're under the assumption that your opponent will do the same. So even if you have to go back, your opponent would have to do that as well. So it's kind of a wash in time save at that point.
Yeah, and you didn't have the icebreaker, but even still, it's like all three items were actually pretty well bunched together. So that made it even easier. You weren't having to run all over the dungeon to grab all three items. It was all very nicely condensed there.
Well, yeah, GG's y'all. It was a great showcase of some execution, and it's always sad to see, when Divergence, it comes down to like skips and stuff like that. But that's part of blind rando. But it was wonderful to see you guys play well, except for Walter. Man, all those failed hook speeds. That was atrocious.
It feels bad. Yeah, GG's, and thanks for doing the commentary and tracking and all that, and thanks for the organizers making SG Live happen. I'm guessing they probably have a lot to do.
Yeah, I'll second that. GG's again, and thanks for putting all this on.
Absolutely, and we're in day 3 of this extravaganza, and a testament to how smoothly it's run to the organizers and the admins, keeping everything running as well as it has. So we've got 5 more days of this, so I for one am pumped for the rest of it. And as a side note, please give our runners a follow today. This was a really, as my co-com said, a fine exhibition of skill and execution. So definitely give them a follow and give us a follow as well. And you know, it's always appreciated. And you know, we look forward to more Link to the Past Randomizer. Try to real quick see what we got on the schedule.
Yeah, I've got it up here. It's we got some more Randomizer happening on SG, happening later in like some time. Oh, you know, it's Zelda 1 Randomizer happening on this channel. That's happening in like half an hour. And then we got more rando happening on SpeedGaming 2 at 5:50 Eastern. And actually happening right now on SG3 is some Super Mario Land 2. So the tournament, the SG Live event continues. It's not just Randomizer, folks. Go check out that Z1R race.
Oh, yeah. We got a SMZ3 at 8:10 Eastern on SG2. And so, yeah, so it's all coming on. And we got more Randomizer tomorrow, I know. So, you know, the fun never ends.
For sure. And sir, it has been a pleasure. Thank you for letting me join you last minute here.
Oh yeah, thank you for coming in on the last second assist. Much appreciated. I mean, always better to do these with a co-com, I say.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, GG's, Walther and jmeasher, and good luck in your future matches.
Yo, thank you. GG's.
Thanks.
Later.
Yeah, good night, everybody. And by night, I mean afternoon.